What's up, folks? Sean, the Average Angler, and we are near December. It is right around the corner, and it is time for our December baits of the month. And notice I didn't say 5. It's just, it's that time of year where you really need to be prepared for a lot of different scenarios, because with weather changes, temperature changes, all that kind of rising water, dropping water, it really affects the fish. And until you get on a body of water, you may not really know what you're going to need to be doing, okay? But the good news is, as you get on the water, idle around, graph, see where are you seeing the fish? Are they up in the water column? Are they suspended? Is it barren and they're sucked up to the bottom just laying around? These are clues that we need to use to decide how we're going to approach the day. And you could see multiple options for that day. Maybe later in the day, and this is a typical pattern I see. Early there could be a bite with fish are moving around and then they'll suck down. That's first light. Later in the day, as it warms up, you start to see more activity. So we just need to adjust and change as we go. So I'm kind of going to give some alternatives here for different scenarios and that kind of thing. And there's just going to be a couple of extra baits just because one works and the other doesn't, and vice versa. Okay. For instance, my first choice here is either an A-rig or an underspin. Now, a lot of times, if they're up, and even if they're on the bottom, as mentioned in my A-rig video, I like to fish these on the bottom. Some days they'll eat this, other days they won't touch it, and you'll need this. Okay, so a couple of different, sorry I dropped something there, a couple of different bait options. With the underspin, I really like the Ratt Thin Swim, okay, if I can get away with it, because the Ratt Thin Swim has a phenomenal kick to it at very, very slow speeds. Okay, and you look at the profile of it, it's a very slender, narrow swim bait. That color is Pro Blue. Okay, great color, can't go wrong with that for a shad pattern swim bait. The other bait I will use on this is a Kitech Fat Impact. And if I can't get away with that Ratt Thin Swim because it's a 4-inch bait, then I may be dropping down to a 3.3 or even a 2.8 Kitech on the back of that. Now, on the A-rig, I'm pretty much going to be going to a 3.3 or 2.8 exclusively, unless maybe I'm on Clear Lake, then I'm going to probably go with the Thin Swim. All right, while we're on swim baits, something that in my mind you need to have on the deck throughout the winter is some sort of bottom bouncing swim bait. Okay, 7-inch dangerous loaded. This is a Ratt Executioner that you hook up on a beast hook, so you can use either a flashy swimmer or just the weighted hook. I believe these are 6-inch. Yep, I'm going to say they're 6-inch. That color is Tennessee Shad. They have great colors. Get on, check them out. And the Thin Swims, or the Executioners, actually are a really good buy at $13.99 for 2. So they're $7 a piece. So you can catch quite a few giants on those. Okay, very popular at Clear Lake too, by the way. But they work everywhere. And there's always the old Huddleston. This one happens to be a 68. You can throw the 8-inch, the original. I have tons of them. They're over there in the cabinet and in the boat. But anyway, some sort of swim bait to bottom bounce that's not your underspin or A-rig. Okay, something bigger. We're talking drawing power. This is a great way to catch some giants. All right, put that box away. This bait's been around for a while. It's been around for the last couple months. It's not time to give up on it. Another bait that you should have tied on throughout the winter is the LV500. Okay, sometimes, some days, the LV500 just puts big fish in the boat. It's hard to beat. It's not every day. Conditions again, right? That's why I said I'm not limiting to 5 this month. It's just too damn hard when you have changing conditions and circumstances all the time. Another one you kind of have to have tied on at all times is some sort of rip bait. Okay? Your brand of choice, 6 Sense, Berkley Stunna, Megabass 110, whatever you like. I'm really liking the matte finish on the Stunnas. I also like that they are about half the price of the Megabass. Of course, if you go down to Caddy Bait and Tackle right now, 20% off. And off a $25 rip bait, that's pretty good. Now, I will add one other thing. Well, I'll give you 2. Both reaction bait. One is going to be the spinnerbait. I found on stormy days, so wind, rain, can be a phenomenal time to pick up a spinnerbait and cover water. Okay, get up on the bank, cover water, because those fish will get up there and feed. Now the opposite of that, sun's out, it's warming up in the afternoon, crankbait. Berryessa is notorious for an afternoon crankbait bite in the winter. Something mid-depth is typically what I'll look for, and I'll put some examples down in the description below. Rapala DTs come to mind, like something like a DT10, somewhere in that range, 8 to 12 foot, okay? Your choice of 8 to 12 foot crankbait, so that's something else to keep in mind. That's, again, why we can't pick 5, right? Too many circumstances going on. All right, for our bottom bouncing stuff, I'm gonna have a few bait. One is that weedless ball head, shaky head, Ned head, some sort, and these have just gotten so good, folks. There's no reason to fish an open hook anymore. I fish a lot of the Z-Man Elastic stuff, and this just makes sense to me, okay? It pierces that elastic so easily, and it gets bit, okay? So if the fish are on the bottom, you're not seeing much on the graph, that is a great approach to take. Any of my regular channel viewers are going to know this was coming, and that was going to be some sort of football jig, okay? 3/8, here's a 3/8. I really prefer the 1/2 ounce, which is what this one is. Same brand, folks. This is just, I ordered 30 of them from Johnny, so they don't come with a labeled pack. Trust me, it's the same thing, just different color as this one. All right, again, watch the jig video. I do like to downsize my line some in the wintertime. One more that can be very, very effective with our friends here from Yamamoto and the Senko is going to be a Neko Rig, okay? So you get that nail weight, screw in weight, push in weight, whatever you want. That color's the 925. Put it in there, get your Neko, either a ring or the VMC ring. I'll put them in the description. I like to vertically fish these a lot, to be honest with you. I will drop those down when I see fish deep schools. This is a very, very effective way to target them, that Neko Rig, okay? It's winter time. December can be kind of a doldrums because that temperature is really starting to drop. By January, they're somewhat used to it. Right now, it's new to them and it's changing, but the fish have to eat, folks. Don't believe a word that the fish stop eating and shut down. They do not. They need to eat. They just may not be as active. Sean the Average Angler, if you like this kind of content, like, subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. Leave some comments. Tell me what your top ones are.